what's going on? And I say, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. I said, hey. Oh, what's going on? Take my wheels in my team. Trying to get there, but keep it low, low. Over destination. Heroes of the storm. And I say, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I say, hey. Oh, what's going on? Pop out chat. There we go. And then kick. Kick, 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 kick. Trying to get there. Keep it low, low. Or whatever that means. Table deals in my high heels too. Do 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 do. Or whatever that means. And I say, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey. Oh, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, hey. Oh, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey. Oh, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. YouTube, 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 YouTube. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Ladies, freedom of speech. Oh, yeah, let me go on Twitch. 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 Let's go to...
I mean, yeah, you can do all this faster, especially knowing the patch, right? But like, if there was a race in this league, like later, like a gauntlet, yeah, we would do this in like 2-3 days, probably, because we know everything, we know the best build, and so on, right? But yeah, this is currently not...
Subway's Meal of the Day gives you 7 of our most legendary subs, packed with protein and fresh chopped veggies. All Marshawn's favorites, like
Teriyaki Tuesday. Give me all that sweet onion teriyaki sauce. Or meatball marinara Wednesday. Now that's a deal. And my favorite, the ultimate BMT.
Did you sleep here?
You know the guy don't sleep.
Check.
7 legendary subs for $6.99 each with chips and a drink. And if you're big hungry, make it a foot long for $3
Perfect.
more.
I post updates about the channel there, so follow us on X at Agenda Free TV. And I would recommend... Oh, we do have a Discord chat where you can chat with other live. A bunch of our viewers like doing that. It's free. It's the same link as the free notification sign-up link. So check out the Discord chat. And for those of you who watch on YouTube, I would suggest turning on the YouTube notifications as another way to let you know when we're going live. But that's a little tricky. What you want to do to turn on the YouTube notifications, what you have to do, you got to subscribe to the channel. Then you got to click this bell. Then you got to choose all notifications. So subscribe, click the bell, choose all notifications. That's how to turn the notifications on over on YouTube. If you are subscribed, make sure you got the notifications on. Okay, also, shout out to our Facebook subscribers. Sorry I didn't thank you earlier. We were so busy today. Right when we came on the air, I didn't have time to do anything because we were already, one of the press conferences had already started. One I didn't even know was going to happen. So, thanks to our subscribers over there on Facebook, like Robert Real II and Sharon Classen Goslin, Kay Larry Body, Margaret Riley, Lou Knight, Jennifer Ellers, all of our other Facebook subscribers, thanks for your support. Also, our Twitch subscribers, thanks for your support, like Orange Makeup Wall Street and Shaggy. Guy from the 207, Gonzalez.
Towers
Lika 42, Hazitude. Matthew Kohai 3, Jazzy Renee. Also,
Me? Why do I got a ban? Fuck. I guess I'll be in Diablo. BW
Hold on a second.
Ratwing.
also, who else here? I'm missing some on Twitch. Wall Street, Shaggy, CC, thanks for subscribing. Jax Haku, Matthew Kohai 3, thank you. Maniac McGee, Honey Buncho Slugs. Maniac McGee, I think, thinks that the House will vote to release the files, but a court will block it. Well, it's not. It wouldn't be in effect unless the House voted and then the Senate and the President also went along with it. But thanks for the comment. If that all happened, could the bill be challenged in court as unconstitutional?
I
To
stand
release the
ready.
files? That's a whole other question. I don't know. Thanks, Massachusetts guy who thinks if they release stuff, all the good stuff will be released or crossed out. Intimido1, thanks for being a subscriber. And all of our other subscribers over on Twitch, Douthis as well, Daddy Dino, thank you. Also, our YouTube members, thanks so much for being members. Betsy's Tag, Joe Hart, Val Cargo, Irish Sweetness, Ane, Chris and Juspo, Go, Buffalo Women, Joe Hart, CAC 813, JK Cinar, JD63, CC, PZ Papa Zulu. Thank you to all of our members. Shackled Text, The Ringa X, Mike Rivers, Nigel Fortune, Mary Beth Kroll, Irish Sweetness. Thank you. And all of our other viewers as well. Thanks everybody for watching, like Mountain View Park, MJU Mr. Mike, Harry Callahan, JK Frosty, Kinetic Pause. Kinetic Pause says they are sweeping it under the rug, but we won't let them get away with it.
Grant us strength.
Thanks also for watching.
We will forge a
Rita
great
Evans Lang.
destiny.
If you missed it, you can rewind and watch both press conferences that we covered. Juliana Martin, thanks for watching. Audrey Burbank. Connie Ori. Oh, I think, by the way, I might have missed. Did I miss? I missed some stars today.
Got a hooker.
Alicia Rivera, and I think Connie Ori. Thank you for the Facebook stars. Sorry for missing those earlier. I appreciate that. Robert Real II. Thanks for your support, Robert. All right, guys, that is it for now. So we're wrapping this up. If there's big news later today, I will come on the air and cover it. But you've been watching our live coverage of the Epstein victims press conference, and it was another one before that I didn't even know was going to happen. So we actually had basically 2 press conferences that we covered. That is it for now. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon. coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.
Day by day, and my life is thin.
Collegiate wrestling. So there's a fine line there. Angle being involved, he has a history. You being involved, you have a history.
Sounds great.
But once you start doing like gimmicky things, there's a fine line.
Shit.
You're a broadcaster. You're not a competitor. I think it took away from what you were doing, the great job that you were doing, and what they were trying to do. The home thing I love because in MMA, as you know, you can't do surprise, opponents. Here they can get away with it. I love the whole thing. It was fun. It was a good cap to the MMA fans who might have been watching. I don't think you need to do that, and I don't necessarily want you to go down that path.
And if only to go back to her, because I was so impressed with her. She was in the back. She was there to warm up. She worked me. She didn't say, I'm going in. She said, I'm here to warm up and won an event.
Oh, wow.
And it was so cool. 3 weeks ago, she weighed in at 135 pounds and fought.
That was
all 10 rounds. So to see her turn around and put a singlet on with an hour or two's notice, just for the love of competition, I thought that was very amazing. Catches her right off the bat. Catches her, puts her on her back. Errol, if Holly would have pinned that girl in that sequence,
I'm gonna pull
this
back.
whole event would have gone up in flames because everybody would have thought it was fake, including me. When that girl went to her back, I'm like, oh my gosh, they worked this one out. Then the girl fought off her back and gets up and comes back angry. I'm like, oh no, they're really wrestling. Holly really put that girl in that troubling position right off the bat. That made it that much more wow. At least from my perspective, I'm going, wow.
Well, I look forward to the next one. Obviously, I'm not an aficionado like you are when it comes to that form of wrestling, but I think they're on something. And there's definitely, I think, a market to be conquered there. How did the Craig Jones thing come about? We know he was supposed to go up against Gable. That seems to fizzle out, and then all of a sudden it's you. At first I thought you guys were just doing like a YouTube promo thing, but then I get the word you're actually in, and you're going to fly from Cleveland to Vegas and prove that you did. How did that all come about?
Craig Jones is so good. It's hard to tell you. What is this position? Let me tell you where I am.
Yeah.
I'm in side control, Ariel.
Ooh.
And I never do whatever this is, but I don't have to. I'm in side control. They call it control because I have control. I didn't know anywhere in the world that you could be in trouble. And this is so beautiful. I hear everything right now. By the way, I'm not asleep. It just looks that way. I'm not. I heard Big John saying, hey, let him go. He's out. He's out. Like I heard. I was there for all of it. It's just in a different.
I thought you pinned him though. Both shoulders on the mat. I was watching this being like, what? Right there. Second shoulder. I thought it was a 1, 2, 3. That's what I thought.
1, 2, 3. That's what I'm trying to express to you. Side control in the buggy chip. Nobody understands the rules, right? I think you get a guy down, you're on top of him, we're on a matted surface. Exactly. 1, 2,
Clean.
3.
Clean. They did celebrate.
I feel a pride at anything that Craig does. I feel that I'm involved. He's discovered that he's been the underground champion, and I don't know if he feels that same way, but I am proud and a very hard working somebody. But I'm very proud of Craig. I wanted to beat him, and the rules having 3 5-minute rounds, I thought provided an opportunity. I can get this guy down. I can protect myself and hold him. I was planning to hold him in that position before whatever this came was and got me.
Right. Okay, so how did it happen though? How did it, like, before we get to the match, how did you participating in the match come about?
I find out Gable's out, and I just read that online. Someone told me that, and I was really disappointed. I wanted to see the world's best jiu-jitsu guy against the young, humongous Olympic wrestling gold medalist. That was very compelling for me. So when he pulls out, I actually got a call from Craig, and Craig just says, "Hey, I know you promoted enough events, had to save the day before. How would you save this one?" And I told him, you can get any name right now. Get Raja Jackson. That's the one, the kind of event you're doing, pops up on a poster, you say one thing, let's see how you do when the opponent is conscious. That's all that you say, put out the poster of you and Raja. And he liked the idea. He did not know how to reach them, so he tasked me, I went to Rampage, we never heard back. And somewhere along the way, I did a call to a media group called Program, and they are live. It's like calling into a radio station. I answer, and they say, would you take on Craig Jones? Like in this live scenario,
back to a corner, like you were like, oh god. You take the old
and put an end to
No, I did not. I do prefer to prepare for competition, but Craig is very unique. And I thought the way the story went, it turned out maybe I got it wrong, but I thought this was Craig's retirement match. It was going to be his last one. And I wanted to share that with him. And I had lost to Craig in Abu Dhabi, but I really felt that the rule of 3 5-minute rounds with judges, I thought it created a real opportunity for somebody to slip in and beat him. And I was coming to you frantically to get a hold of Tom Brady. What did you feel? How did you nullify it? Give me a tip or two. I did not know from side control I was in danger. I learned something. But Errol, what a beautiful technique. I mean, who else knew that when you're at the side, you could still be doing that? It really was. A guillotine choke, by the way, partner, is painful. A rear naked, there's a little bit of panic.
You've lost this one, Raven. It will not
This
be
thing
yours.
I call a buggy choke, Ariel, it is so peaceful. And then you're out, and then you come back. And it's just a very strange sensation. When I got home, Miss Brittany gives me a hug right at the door. And she whispers in my ear so the kids don't hear. She says, you didn't sell that first one very well. I know you weren't out. Yep. And it's just like, okay.
I love. By the way, why did they do it twice?
There's not a lot that I can say there, but all right, shortly.
Why twice? And even on Tapology, it's just that.
At the end was one match.
Yeah.
They decided to restart the
that's
one
a
match.
healer I
And
can
Errol, they wouldn't let me go first. It's
Oh
just-
shit!
How much embarrassment do you want to take? And I don't know the rule on if you pass out and coming back. Like, I don't know if you want to pass out 3 times in 3 minutes. I don't know if anyone even got knocked down. There's no fight there. Your practice was over for the day, no matter what happened. If you get knocked down, you can go out and practice for yourself. One of the little piece of me, I mean, I don't really know the rules on it. I've never been passed out, let alone twice. I couldn't turn down the opportunity to restart the match because I really thought I could beat it. I really feel if I just got in the spot, got my hands on it, I couldn't cause a problem. But,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
he's
whoa, whoa, whoa,
advanced,
whoa.
man. It's unfair. He is very, very
has been destroyed.
I give you a lot of credit. I actually felt very guilty. Very guilty because I was dealing with some jet lag. I just arrived from Europe. I went to sleep very early, like 9 o'clock. I wake up at like 4:35 in the morning Eastern time, and I see. I'm happy you bring this up. I see a text from you saying, "Hey, do you have Sean Brady's phone number?" And then I go online and I see what happened, and then I put the together and I see the text before the match, and I was like, "Oh,
You cannot die.
save shit." Had I gotten the number and you talked to Sean, maybe this doesn't happen. So I felt a bit of guilt.
And I blame you.
Yeah,
I
okay.
blame you for the whole loss, so I'm not going to lie either. And I accept the apology. Thank you for being man enough to admit you screwed me against Craig. And then if I would have talked to Sean, I
Yes.
would have beat him. I think we can all agree on that. So
100%. Okay, well, my bad. That's on me. That's on me.
This crowd, Craig's crowd, they knew what was up at all times. The energy, and I can't explain it. It's something you got to feel. Like Kathy Garcia doesn't want to talk, and she's dancing, and they got this DJ cutting these cool sounds, and the whole crowd's into it. They started chants 3 and 4 times. They like knew what to chant in unison. The Rock can get audience participation, but it took him years of educating the audience to pull it off. This is Craig's second event. On his second event, these audience members knew what to do and when to do it. It was awesome, man. I really wish this guy was more often than once a year, and I must say, it was really a special.
It was a really interesting weekend because there was all these different options, I feel like, of MMA, but no actual MMA going on. You had the dirty boxing on Friday, you had the Misfits on Saturday, you had the RAF, you had the TJI. And it just kind of shows the business of MMA is in an interesting spot right now where you have all these players, recognizable names from the world of MMA, yourself, Jairzinho, Dylan Dennis, Tony Ferguson, Darren Till, Holly Holm, all doing things outside of MMA, but MMA fans being attracted to it. So I thought it was a fascinating weekend. I mentioned that I was out of the country, and so I'm sort of doing a pretty good job, I think, of staying out of the storm, staying off my phone, staying off social media. And then all of a sudden I come across this Raja Jackson situation with Rampage's son, and I say, okay, let's see what like the main players are saying. So I go on your channel, always go to your channel first. a nice little chill video on the couch.
Double kill.
And then I read the comments. Now, I got to your first video after you posted the second video addressing all the heat you received for the first video. What was that like? Because it seemed like Old Chill was taking some heat there for his comments.
Clearing the altars in my name.
taken heat in those comments like that before. It's usually a really supportive group that
Yeah.
sees the world for the way it is. Undefeated, and I am the reigning linear champion
Like
because
all
I
the
destroyed
others.
John Jones. So let's just go off. That's generally the way those comments go. Upset that I would be so disgusted. Then Raja Jackson and make an argument that what Raja did was
Let
okay.
the gravekeeper
The problem
know
was,
my
I don't think any of those things, and I didn't say anything
This
remotely
realm
close
will
to
be
that. I
mine,
tackled this
and
from the
mine
same perspective
alone.
both times, which is the legal perspective. You have this crime. You have a clear assault that might even be attempted murder if you believe it to be premeditated. The authorities are in possession of what you've already deemed is disgusting, horrifying, and criminal, but they haven't taken action. And I explained the whole picture why they haven't taken action. I never even touched on Raja, why he did it, Psycho Stu, what happened to him. Purely from a legal perspective, if I was to go to 7-Eleven to a payphone and dime you out, I make a call and I say that I saw you doing that to somebody, you would be thinking, they're a step further in this jurisdiction. They have the tape. They've seen it with their own eyes. They have not even commented that they are investigating it. The whole thing is pro wrestling unless Psycho Stu
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near our
to take
core
charge.
that leads to
And
the
that is the part
battleground
that I find
center.
interesting. It's all that I ever said. And all
You
the
have
heat came
lost
back
the
as though that was a defense of Raja. But it doesn't even include Raja's name.
Keep
So that's
destroyed.
Are you surprised nothing has happened to him? Are you surprised there haven't been any arrests, any charges, anything like that?
No! They can't and they
Our
won't
tower
make an arrest until Psycho Stu said that wasn't planned. Everybody on the card that night said before the match they're going to beat the hell out of their opponent. Everybody on the card that night, winners and losers, hit their opponent. Everyone on the card that night hit their opponent, threw him to the ground.
Lay
It
claim
was what
to
they
the
were
altars.
performing. What was
Do
in their
not
heart was different.
disappoint
It
me.
appeared that Raja stopped performing in order to try to injure the man. And that is the difference between the show and a crime. But when I say that's here,
rather violent.
only
Double
Stu gets
kill.
to stay. The rest of us are harmed. Only Psycho Stu gets to say that, and he has up to 12 months. I have a feeling he might drag this on. But they're not going
Doomed
to
to
go
the
just
grave
arrest it because
keeper.
they have a video of pro wrestling match. And the audience doesn't get to decide what's real and what's not. The audience job is to be entertained and constantly fooled. So they don't actually get to say how bad this was. Only one person does, and that's Stu. And so far, he's remained silent.
Why do you think he might drag it out?
Well, Stu isn't I spoke to
And it
Stu.
will not
really?
be stolen from
People-
me.
Okay.
People love Stu, back and forth. And he believes that if he doesn't protect the business, that he purges business. He also believes that he goes to the police, he gives up his character as a legitimate advantage. Meanwhile, if he takes that beating, don't forget it wasn't something. It's not like Raja beating. Raja never comes to no 1, 2, 3, and Stu could ask for rematches. He could spend that. He could turn that into something. Now, what do you want to do? They have $1 million insurance
Choose
policy.
a
I have to carry this exact same insurance because I'm a promoter here in Oregon. And believe me, that settlement would be done quickly and for all $1 million.
That wasn't so
Stu's gonna have
hard,
to
was it?
juxtapose taking that money and going down the legal route against the character and brand of wrestling. I don't know
I
what
believe
you
that
would
key
choose, but it's not
was
a
yours.
simple choice. One gets you $1 million, the other one costs you your identity. And people will do anything to protect their identity.
So what do you think he does? Ultimately, do you think he does nothing?
I think he does nothing. I think if somebody will come quietly and work something out. But a lot of times the insurance will go, hey, we're not paying.
Yes, slay. Double kill.
I think that will give Raja. But if somebody they should come in quietly and say, we saw what happened to you, here's how we want to settle this. Non-disclosure with
Mayhem.
you, non-disclosure over here. I think that would be fair. I hope that that's what happens. I don't know if it's the picture yet, but it's an option.
Just curious, since you say you have some sort of contact with him, how is he doing? Do you have any idea?
Yes, he's woken up. He said the reports of a broken jaw and missing teeth, I can't confirm those.
The altars
but I
have
personally
risen.
believe them.
Activate
That
them
sounds very in line
now.
with what I saw. And, but no, I think he's doing better. And we started to find out a little bit about him outside of wrestling, that he's a military veteran,
Another
that he's
tower
a father,
under
that he's a husband, that he's a really good dude. Like, the stuff
We
that was coming
hold
out, it seems like Stu was
6.
quite an unfortunate victim.
Okay, do you blame him for any of this?
No. No, I don't blame Stu. I don't know
Victory.
what happened in the back with the beer can, but those are different incidents, by the way. And Stu, when he used the beer can, clearly
MVP.
did not intend harm. He used it the correct way. He was trying to work. He found out, oh, I'm not with a worker. He apologized. That was a dead issue. And then you have the premeditation of Raja on his stream telling people, I'm going to go do this for real. And there is a point where we as people are whoever we pretend to be. So if Raja now gets into character for stream of street tough guy, this way to confront this guy that did him wrong earlier, he can become that guy pretty easily. And the great wrestlers do get into character. They just remember to take care of their opponent. So what lines got blurred? Where was the crime from the accident? Because it starts out like a show. He doesn't attack him from behind. He waits for the cue. When he turns around, he gets in on that high crotch. He lifts him up, turns him around, drops him in the correct spot. Way too hard, by the way. And then is like where that's like where the rage came. So it wasn't completely premeditated. It was disgusting. But how they're going to handle it. I mean, Ariel, don't forget, if they think the intent was to do serious harm, you're talking about assault 3. Assault 3 is worse time-wise than an attempted murder. But you're still talking about attempted murder being on the table. Like, it is a wide range, not because of what happened, because of what the desired outcome of what happened might have been.
You said the word disgusting. I mean, disgusting criminals. It was shocking to watch, especially in real time, and especially when you think like someone is filming this who's part of Raja's crew, if you will. The fact that the promoters, everyone involved, walked up to him and said, yeah, you could get yours, and didn't explain to him what that was or what they were trying to say. Like, they deserve so much blame as well. It was, to me, I called it a shitstorm of stupidity. It was just like stupid after stupid after stupid. There was no adult in that entire situation. There was no one that said, hey, man, you're a little too heated. Like, maybe we should do this another time. Maybe we should, like, we don't actually mean you kick the crap out of the guy. We mean like you do an angle. And if you are doing the angle, who's it for? No one's watching this. This is an indie show with 30 people in attendance. Like, what are you talking about? This is not Monday Night Raw. The whole thing was very bizarre. What did you make of the reaction to it? Because I saw it explode and then grow and then grow. Video on YouTube about this is getting millions of views, 800, 700,000. It broke through the crazy. I was just kind of shocked at how much coverage came to the story.
I thought the same thing. And then there is a question of what do you do with that, and what does Stu want to do with that? I mean, Stu, you know, when you go out and create a character and you're living your life and you're playing it, it's because you see yourself as this guy. Then TV allows you to get to be that guy in front of people for adoration of the audience. And do you want to let that go? You know, it's a tough spot. If they were to work an angle up and down the interstate like they would have done in the old day, they're going to sell a lot of tickets with it. There is something here. Does that excuse? Is that okay for this terrible action we have? I mean, it's not just for a matter of what happened to Stu. Stu almost has a responsibility to do something so that this doesn't happen to someone else down the road. But I don't know Rajat to be a bad guy. And I don't know what happened in that moment. And I don't know if he is just the world's worst pro wrestler, or he just thought Stu was the world's toughest guy and he could take him. Floyd Mayweather did the same thing to Paul White, the Big Show. Now, Big Show told him to. Big Show said, we can't sell this or script it, so just hit me. So Floyd put a combo on it and ends up busting Paul's nose. But that's what happens when you get hit by Floyd. But there was no hard feelings, because Paul said, I want you to actually do this, and Floyd did. I don't think anything like that was agreed upon in the back. If that would have been a spot, we would have at least seen a cover. We would have heard the bell ring with a disqualification. It seemed as though everybody was caught off guard. So at what moment did Raja switch from the script to business for himself? I think that's going to be an important moment should this ever turn to a courtroom.
By the way, when you put out something like that, you think you're being level-headed, you're trying to give some sort of smart, intelligent, nuanced take on a very complex situation, and and it's a tough one to tackle. And you see this tidal wave of hate coming your way. Just curious, like for Chael Sonnen, the human being, the husband, the father, how do you internalize that? How do you deal with that?
I was surprised, Ariel. My arrogance until I got that pushback was that people watched my entire videos. That pushback was the moment I realized people watch about 30 seconds of what I'm saying, or they listen to 2 lines and form their own opinion. I didn't know that. I thought my viewers were more loyal than that. I thought they listened to everything that I said, but there's no way to listen to what I said and then come out thinking it was a defense for Raja or hey, I would have done it the same way. There was no part of that. It's very fascinating that we're in possession of absolute proof, but no legal action has been taken. That's interesting, and that's what I spoke to.
Okay, it's a weird one. It's a very strange one. Everyone weighing in from the world of pro wrestling, from MMA. I mean, it was the hottest topic. I don't know if it was because nothing else was going on, or if it was because it was like a criminal act being streamed live. You won't get into that world, right? The 24-hour stream stuff where you're walking around with a lav mic on your head. Like it's not quite for you, is it?
It's not for me. It's not for me. You know, that internet stuff for the most part does not require talent, and it's why so many people are getting into it. There's no barrier to entry. If you've got an iPhone, you're willing to watch a couple of videos on YouTube about how to upload this stuff, all of a sudden you can be out there. And
hell yeah.
But no, for me, no. I will bring talent, information. I have an actual skill, and I will deliver that. I don't need the cheap clicks.
Did you enjoy doing The Ultimate Fighter?
I heed the voice
but it's
of
a tough
Elune.
question because you form a bond with those guys unlike anything else I've ever been around. My high school classmates, very special. Your college teammates, very special. But The Ultimate Fighter is unlike anything. You use the word family. People love the word, we're a family. They love to say that when they're getting ready to negotiate with you and they would like you to take less. The Ultimate Fighter actually forms a family. And, you know, those guys are like sons or nephews, and I hate seeing them go. I hate losing contact with them. I enjoyed it more when I could see them each and every day, watch them grow, help them get closer to their goals. And all of a sudden, one day it's over, and you're all just supposed to walk out opposite doors and go back to the normal world. And I will tell you, that part is tough.
My understanding is it kind of lit something under DC, and he's now like forming a team, and he's coaching. You saw him yesterday. Any chance that happens to you?
I am coaching, but just the kids and just for wrestling.
Okay.
DC, exactly right. He's got a fight gym going. He had 3 guys on the last 3 Contender Series. Took a couple of those guys from the Ultimate Fighter. He's training with them now, hoping to break them in to the octagon the right way. And yeah, DC's an incredible guy. I will mimic his efforts to give back. Mine will just be through amateur wrestling.
So no interest in MMA, being an MMA coach, having a team, all that stuff.
No. Just my son. I train my son because I can't get away from him, and we got a gym in the garage. But when I leave and have open classes, just for wrestling.
Do you think he'll actually become a fighter?
I don't think so. I don't think that he really wants to do that. I don't think when he says he wants to do that at 10 years young, that he fully understands what he's saying.
He's saying some crazy shit at 10 years young.
I'm sure that he has some certain skills that maybe give him a certain level of confidence as he goes through life. But will he get in there and actually compete with another man? Probably not. They say a rich man can't fight, and they say that a rich man's son doesn't have to fight. I think that's probably true.
Although Jake Paul is fighting him too.
Sounds great.
You know, I don't want to follow this one, but I am really curious. But what does the Paramount deal mean for Chael Sonnen? How does this affect you, if at all?
Okay, so I roll with Glenn. Wherever Glenn goes, that's where I want to go. But I'm not sure Glenn would ever leave ESPN, or that would even be on the table. So there might just not be anything there. I don't know. How does it work? Let's see. We got a contract with ESPN, and even though it appears that there's nothing left to do, that doesn't actually null and void your contract. So I'm in nobody. I'm at ESPN, and I'm very happy. Will they continue in MMA to some degree? I don't know. Daniel and I did a show over there. It's a successful show. Are they going to keep that around? I don't know. And now ESPN is looking that they're going to acquire Fight Pass. Maybe that opens a level of opportunity. I don't know. So it's a little bit of a holding matter. I love it. I love the job, Aaron, but I am planning to run for governor in Oregon. And the question is, John, which race, when are you going to jump into? I was going to wait a cycle, but if this TV thing all gets played out, right, the music stops and there's no chair for jail, I am going to go file, and I'm going to be Oregon's next governor.
Okay, wait a second. First of all, the Glenn that you're speaking of is Glenn Jacobs, great guy, was once my boss as well, made the Ariel and the Bad Guy show. I have great respect for him, and I think he'll be okay. I think it's a good deal going over to ESPN. Perhaps you just moved over to that with UFC going through the thought we'd be in this landscape. But the governor thing, is this the first time you say this? I've not heard you say this before.
It might be the first time I told you. It's not the first time I said it. The first time I said it, I was in third grade. First day of class, they made us get out a piece of paper and write down the when we grew up. I wrote President of the United States. And then fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, it was the same experiment. And I always wrote President. And then as I got a little older, I realized I don't want to go away from Oregon.
We designed our
So I
trigger
switched to governor around
combat in the
junior
next
high
phase.
school.
Prepare
But
to begin
the time
field
we're
test.
actually going to get in and do it, it's probably going to be now. We'll see. You can't be on TV and in a campaign. There's a law, a federal law called equal time, which means if some network gave me, and I'm on campaign, if some network gave me 30 minutes, they would have to give my opponent 30 minutes. And if I'm working for that network, like, there's just no way to do it. There's no way to have a job and meet that
Take
rule.
control
So
of it to
if
pilot the
Paramount decided to go with somebody lesser, because it's not like there's anybody better at this than me,
Right.
I would wish them well. But that would be my next meet. I'd go to Salem, I'd go to the Secretary of State's office, and I would file my candidacy for governor of Oregon.
Wow, this is incredible. And when would that election be?
That election will be in November of 26.
Okay, so this is the time.
Yes.
You want this?
And by the way, November of 25 is probably important that I get that date right. So
Yes.
November of 25.
November 25. You would go into office in 26 if you want.
Correct.
And your family wants this. You're okay because I mean, when you run for public office, you open yourself up to all kinds of nastiness, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's tough stuff for sure. But it's kind of boilerplate. I mean, they say it about everybody, right? This guy's a racist. This guy's xenophobe. This guy's anti-Semitic. They use the most insulting words. It's really interesting. You work with kids, and they're growing up. The kid calls another kid a jerk or a dork. It's big trouble. The adults that you don't call them names, but then adults call other adults much worse names, right? Adults really are the scummier of the two between children, right? Between minor and adult, the worst of the two is the adult. So yes, they will come up with all that and maybe even a couple of things that you don't know. There wouldn't be very many. There wouldn't be very many secrets I'm sitting on, but they might come out.
Wait a second. You have to declare your candidacy in November in 2 months from now?
No, I would not have to be in there. I could, but I would not have to be in there until January 9th.
So when do you make this call?
Well, the call is going to be made for Dana White, Paramount would like me to come over and continue my participation, and I stay and sign a television deal that would void my ability of running. I really felt like I made this clear.
I'm trying.
I'll put it again for you anyway. If I don't get picked up,
Yeah.
if they decide to be like a lesser talent, that is the option that I would go for.
Okay, but the thing is, like, running for governor is such a big deal. Doesn't that supersede, like, if you feel it in your heart right now, why don't you just go for it? The TV thing will be there. Go for it now.
In the next cycle. So it's not a matter of when plans would change, it would just change the day, and it would be in a positive way. To yours of that feeling or of that calling, I would be doing it, and I would be doing it sooner than the plan.
The field test has started.
I'm just sharing.
Attack the enemy protector and see how much damage its armor can do.
How can I help? How can I help? Can I be your campaign manager? Can I have a song? What can I do?
You know, I don't know if you want to be a campaign manager. There's a lot of work on that, but I appreciate that thought. I'm sure I would want to come back and maybe plug a message for you and ask people to vote, but...
Are you saying I don't have to work at this?
You don't need to put anything. I'm just sharing with you what I'm...
Are you implying I don't have to work at this?
Damn it.
Is that what you're
I'm
implying?
not
No, you're
Our engineers have made good
there's a number of
progress with
things.
them.
It's very hard. Campaign manager is very hard.
Wow. Okay, this is a curveball here that I love it. So can I ask, how do you, speaking of Paramount, how do you feel about them getting rid of these number of events behind the Paramount Plus subscription that they no longer
Sure, what a gift.
Yeah.
What a gift to the MMA audience. That's good. They are pushing back and complaining about fighter pay. They're trying to tell me, you don't understand. First off, this isn't new to existing. WWE talked everybody years ago. They're all under one banner. One would be on pay-per-view and one wouldn't. It makes a little more sense not to be, but I don't know how people use the gift. There's always this idea that the fighter's going to get shorted, but never, not once since 2001, year over year, has the UFC not paid the fighter more money. They've never got a deal, whether it's Fox, ESPN, or this, where the fighter didn't make more money. So, I think it's awesome. I would prefer not to have to push the pay-per-view button. And I bought every show, and I haven't missed, but if I don't have to go to that extra step, thank you, TKO.
It is great for the fans. I think it's great for the fans. I think it's great for the UFC. I think it's great for Paramount that they're aiming for it. But the question is, like, if you're a UFC champion right now, if you're Hamza Chimaev, if you're Merab, if you're one of these guys, you get the pay-per-view points. I don't think Merab actually gets, but you get the point. You know, aren't you wondering what happens to my cut? Historically, got pay-per-view points. They got a cut of the pay-per-view participate in. ESP himself said that. Once I started to participate, I wanted to actually participate. That's something that needs to be addressed, right?
That has to be controversial, you know, like, and even on the UFC side, how do you motivate them to keep doing a great job? The UFC, with the participation points, chose to motivate its main event and champion to get out there, to accept the invites that the PR team is doing for you, to accept the marketing opportunities. A lot of guys don't want to do that, though. They don't want to sit in radio stations and spend a day, maybe you're in this elevator, you're over here, now you're back talking to this. So they incentivize them through participation. And for the UFC, it's incentivized the same way.
All that fucking time, bro.
I think so. I think you can count on that. How will he get the guys to do it? And all I can do is look back at WWE
I'm getting another
when they went
terminal
on
ready for
pay-per-view,
you.
and those guys felt the same incentive. Those guys who put out 50 months media citizens in interviews, they've all made more money. So what that structure and model looks like, yes, to your question, yes, I am curious. Am I confident that there is an answer to this? We just haven't thought of it yet. Yeah, of course.
Are you surprised that there's now this new trend that
Wow.
you have to vacate your title? It's now happened 3 times in 2025, right?
It's
with
time,
Victoria,
hero.
with Islam, and now we've
Control
seen
the
John having
terminal
to,
and bring
John
in the
Whaley having to
protector.
Vacate. I kind of like the champion versus champion thing on the poster. You know, it feels like it loses a little bit of something.
Oof.
I hear you on that, and overall I do like it. Nobody is going to have a belt in 2 divisions and then defend the lower belt. And there has been a time historically that you could throw in my face that Amanda Nunes did do that, but we can agree that women's division was very different. It was not loaded. I mean, just with bodies. There wasn't a lot of bodies. The one champion could do 2 weight classes, fulfills all the dates, and everything's fine.
Retreat!
For the guys, though, I mean, I can argue for you the reason Volkanovski wasn't
Learn
champion.
from
He
this. Come back
in the
stronger.
first place. Volkanovski goes to step in the cage with Islam. If he wins, he wakes up tomorrow the world champion. If he loses, he wakes up tomorrow the world champion. If he wins, his next fight is for the title because he's bringing it. If he loses, his next fight's for the title because he's bringing it. A guy's got to have a little bit more risk than that. If you genuinely believe that you can beat this guy, then leave this one behind. And you saw what that did for Ilya, and as great as he looked. And I think that you're probably going to see something very beautiful from Islam. Jack's a little harder fight than people are aware. But the bottom line, yes, if Islam say it right now, you're going to go back to 55.
Fuck!
You're a very sweet guy. No, you're not. The worst thing in the world is to have to come late. Nobody in the tough guy business wants to be smaller. None of your classmates thinks it's cool to have the smaller guy belt. The bigger belt, and the one above that, and the one all the way up to the heavyweight, which is the worst fighter in the room, but he gets the most attention. And we're after perception here, so yes, you gotta burn one belt. You can't pack both of them.
Who is Ilya's next fight again?
It's supposed to be against Saruki. If you're asking for inside information, who does the UFC want him to fight? The answer is Arman Saruki. The problem right now has come to dates. Ilya doesn't want to fight until next year. He wants the rest of this year off. And Sarukian wants to get in there right away. So now he's looking at Justin or Patty. But I don't know if those guys are speaking up. I know Justin's also waiting to fight back and just waiting which one that he happens to draw. But the fight the UFC would like to
Where you
go
going,
is
nigga?
Ilya versus Cerrone.
Are you surprised? Because the biggest money fight is probably
I'm impressed.
Yeah, Ilya versus
Well,
Patty. I
I thought so,
appreciate you
nigga.
saying that because so many people, too, Islam and Ilya are convinced that they are this huge fight, and they're not. They're a good fight, and they're a big fight. They're not a huge fight. Now, if they both get a little bit more done, yes, that could be the biggest fight in the industry, but it's not right now. As a matter of fact, and to your point, Ilya versus Patty does a larger buy gate, larger live gate, and a bigger buy rate than Islam
The
versus
protector
Ilya.
is
Right
armed,
now,
and
if you can get Patty
our
involved,
future
I would
is
include him.
assured.
it's way
Shit.
too early to do this, but just for fun, because we haven't talked in a minute. Can you book me like your top 3, even if it's top 3 cards for the White House card? Who's headlining?
I haven't thought a lot about it because it's a year
I'm gonna
away.
pull
I
back
tell
for
you
now.
that card is going to be used as a reward. Everybody on the roster wants on that card. But it's not a matter of I've done this or I've done that. Like John Jones, for example, I'm the greatest fighter of all time. It's like, yeah, it's true, but you didn't set up the road. You didn't set up the ring. You didn't take your turn driving the semi-truck. Like, you don't deserve a reward. But there are some other guys that I think have carried some pretty heavy water. Alex Pereira comes to mind. Colby Covington, I believe, is a lock for the guard. But I'll just remind you, it's going to be people. It's not going to be anybody that's very tired. It's not going to be anybody that's
Strange.
set out. Nobody
I did not
can take
expect
those
the
glorious
protector to be
spots except
destroyed
for the
like
people
that.
who have earned them by showing their loyalty back to the industry and to the company. And frankly, none of those other guys deserve
Choose
it.
a
John
talent.
does not deserve to have a main event spot on the White House card.
What about Conor?
If Connor's ever going to return, there's something special with Connor. You're trying to do really magnificent tonight. If you get him on the card, you've satisfied it. You've got the viewers, you've got the
That's
UFC
enough
power.
of that.
I just don't know what Connor wants to do.
I'm gonna pull back.
Double
Training. He looks good. His body moves in a good way. He's slow as
that
molasses
had to
running
hurt.
uphill. And I don't know where that speed went. Sometimes I think he's doing kata, like because his form is so incredibly slow. And then I find out, no, that's full pace. I think that's very concerning. But I don't say that to put him down. He knows. He knows. When I went in the back to warm up for Craig Jones Saturday, that's when I did this reality check. Like the warm up that I used to do. And it's been 5 years since I've done it. That warm up I used to do, and the way my body would respond. And I think that Connor knows. I think he knows that he's slow. And when I see Connor, it's not like he's talking the game. He's not less drunk in interviews now. He's not less high on drugs now. It's the same amount. And when he travels around, and if you're ever traveling, you're not training. You can't do it both. You've got to be at your gym with your coaches or whatever exercise you do gets chalked up to a workout. It's not training.
coming to
I
help.
don't see him traveling any less. Like there's nothing in the Connor bucket that's stronger today than was a year ago. So could they get Connor? I don't know. If they could get Connor, would they use him? Yeah, they would use him. He's done enough good deeds that he could slip in and nobody would be mad.
So it's way too early, but right here and now, what's the main event?
For the White House card, wow.
Or at least give me one participant. But like, who's the A side? Like, who's the guy that you think? Because that might be the most watched MMA fight of all time, right?
The main event right now, but also understanding that you're going to have 2 or 3 wins to hold the athlete. The main event is Kazmat Chimaev versus Bo Nickel.
What? Serious?
That's very likely to be your main event for the White House.
That battle
But
cannot be
again,
won.
You know, they both need a couple more fights before that, but the calendar allows them to have.
A protector
serious.
is almost
Bo
ready.
versus
Access
Chimaev.
its terminal
serious
when
right
I
now?
bring it online.
There was
What do you
one.
think? What would it
I was foaming at the mouth to see that fight. Obviously, Bo needs to get back on track, and I have no doubt that he will. 0 doubt. I just don't know if the timing will work out. Because there's no title picture with all those guys that are inside. Usually on Hamza brings a little bit of baggage with him. You want Hamza Chimaev, best friend of,
Well fought.
you know, a Chechen warlord.
Access
Yes.
terminal
You
online.
want him to be your main event
Secure
guy?
it to
Could've
activate
done
the
it
protector.
for several years. Like, is that the move?
It wouldn't be looked at. It would not at all would that be things to consideration. Dana said it's very clear. I'm out on the side. You're the
They
best fighter in the world. I'll put you to work.
Another step
just played golf
A great
with the
victory.
president. The
Or
president
not.
would like if it was Bo Nickel. We had a real American freestyle event 2 days ago, and Bo participated, and he was part of the media. He went on Fox News, and he said something about the president. But the president then called him.
I will be back.
And wished him luck. You know, we're all standing around. It was a very cool moment. And, yeah, I think that... that's Jemai is the warlord. Come on, please. Nobody else knows that. Either way, that would not carry over. Jemai versus Signal, if it was today, would be your main event.
Wow. Who wins, by the way?
Yeah, who wins, by the way? How much would you like if Real American Wrestling or CGI or anybody for that matter got those two juggernauts together? Like, we all just want to see the takedowns. Can Chimaev take Bo down? Can Bo take Chimaev? Like, that's what we really want to know. If I could see those guys cage fight, or I could see the best of 5 takedowns. I mean, whoever gets the 3 first wins, I'd probably choose that. Bo versus Chimaev is very interesting, and it turns out that Chimaev doesn't have the weakness. It turns out that his hands push hard. He's a handful for any of the top guys. Bo is a little out of the top ranking before I the hardest matchup. So do with that what you will. And I understand what you before, but I stand by that as my answer.
Okay, one more before this is done. By the way, throw this out there. If the Paramount thing doesn't work out, and if the governor thing doesn't work out, perhaps we get the band back together over here. I mean, you'll be free. You'll have a couple of dates free. Perhaps we get the band back together. What do you say? What do you say? That was a question, by the way, but it just got me thinking. It's just so much fun.
Great idea. I would love it. I mean, essentially, we're doing it now. And I apologize. I usually bring you...
Fenta.
No, I think you were great today.
Travel. Yeah, I travel a little bit, so I'm doing my best here. I want to be the good guest. I love it when you have me on. But I love the idea of working with you.
Okay.
Well, I know how fake the offer was.
No.
I realize that you didn't mean it at all. But in the spirit of Hail Fellow Well Met, like Shakespeare says, I'm in.
We shoot with each other. True or false, you did leave me on red twice when I dropped this up.
Destroyed.
I answer all my messages every email, every text, every phone call gets returned every day before I go to sleep. So if that
I'll send you a screen grab. Twice, but then I followed up. What do we follow up with if one, either you or I, doesn't respond or doesn't get the text? What is the usual? And I hit you with the war. I hit you with the war, and I didn't even get a response to the war, which was like a knife. It was like it's fine. You don't need to talk about it. It's fine.
Fucking A, I didn't mean to blow him away. Fuck.
The protector has been destroyed.
Last one.
Our technician
I do want to ask you. Fernand Lopez said to me, and I got thinking about it.
Fuck.
Never listen to UFC. No, but I had more pressure on the shoulder on Aspinall when the flights were gone because everything that happened over the past year. I know he's playing mind games. I know he's good at trash talk, but I do think there's something to that.
Coach Lopez doesn't get enough credit for work. And people like he's this mean guy. He just looks mean. He just got a mean looking demeanor. He's actually a really great guy, and I just share for you. That was brilliant. It's the only thing that he got out of his mouth when he was talking to you was to put that and shove that up Tom's ass. He did his job. And there is a lot of moving parts here. We haven't turned the page for John. And we haven't turned the page because John can't retire. And we knew that he couldn't retire, but bringing in a common opponent in Surreal just put a lot of pressure on Tom. If Tom loses that fight, it's not a glorious win for Surreal. It's a celebration for John Jones. If we had to get forced to put John and Surreal in a rematch of the world's most uncompetitive, biggest flop heavyweight fight of all time, that would really surprise me. I was surprised the organization went with Surreal. He's a perfectly nice guy, but if the equation is involving John Jones, I thought that he would eliminate him. And Tom does have to beat him. And he's got to beat him by finish. And he's got to beat him inside of about 4 minutes. Or he had to work harder than John. And that's not the way we're currently trying to tell the story. So yeah, it puts a lot on Tom.
You represented very well. Congrats for performing in the
Goodbye, Ariel. My lawyer will be there.
There he is, the one and only Justin's son, indeed. American gangster, the bad guy. Tremendous insight into breaking news that he's running for governor. How about that? Still to come, my friends. Alex Pereira in studio. Andre Ward, Rampage Jackson, Luke Rockhold, potentially with some insight into his future, but first great honor and privilege to be one of the great boxers, specifically heavyweight boxers over the past decade or so. He returned to action in late June, picked up a win over Tyrell Herndon. His name was discussed on this program just 2 weeks ago. We thought it would be a good time to catch up once again with him. Bronze Bomber himself, the one and only Deontay Wilder. Kind enough to join us once again. Hello, Deontay. How are you, my man?
Hey, man. What's going on? I'm doing very well. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for joining us. Great pleasure and privilege to speak to you again. And congratulations on the win in June in Wichita. Lots to talk to you about, but I do want to ask, like, getting that W, getting the hand raised, getting those feelings back, did it feel like you were all the way back? Did it feel reminiscent?
I appreciate you asking. It's wonderful to get over here and raise again. You know, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot these last 4.5 years, man. It's crazy, especially when you're dealing with betrayal. And you know, I thought I had things under control, but mentally I didn't. And I acknowledged it early, and I understood what was going on. When I was having doubt within myself, I started losing focus. I started losing concentration. I started, you know, not believing in myself because of the betrayal that was occurring with me, and the things and the work that I put in with these individuals, and to see them do me like this, you know what I mean? It really, you know. But the thing is, the saying is, the only ones that are closest to you that can really affect you and hurt you. And you know, unfortunately, I had to go through what I had to go through. I had to see a sports psychologist to get myself back together. I'm back together. So that fight right there was a tester for me to see where I am. I'm truly back mentally.
Genuinely asking why he thought top lane was a good idea.
Without the mind, mentally, everything crashed out. You can train as hard as you want. You can go through all the levels of what you need to prepare for a fight. And if you're not mentally there when it's time for that bell, when that bell ring, and say ding, if you're not there mentally, it's over with. And I found myself back together, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the next one to show truly who I am and what I am, and to bring this damn heavyweight division back to its happy days, man. It's dead again, so I gotta save it.
By the way, in the lead up to this fight in June, were you still doubting yourself, or was that pre-training camp? Like, did you find yourself even questioning in the days, in the hours leading up to the fight, if you still got it, if you're the same old guy?
No. After my last defeat, I got myself together that night. You know what I mean? I you know, with that loss, I fully understood what was going on with me, because before then I didn't know what was going on. I knew something was going on, something would happen. I didn't feel myself. You know, my focus, it wasn't as sharp, or it wasn't as sharp as it usually is. You know, I'm focusing on everything on the outside of the ring. I'm focusing on my personal lifestyle on the outside of the ring, and what's going on in it, and not too much focus on what's going on right in front of me. And I didn't understand how the hell I'm switching off like that when the bell rings. It's almost like a hypnosis type of thing. Ding! Oh shit! Why I'm here when I'm supposed to be fighting? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it happens to the best of us, and I realized it after that loss. I knew exactly what I need to do. Now, if I would have won, then nothing would have been changed dramatically, and I still would have been suffering. I still would have been lost physically and emotionally. So, you know, sometimes you have to look at defeat.
Wait, I think that I did a fine lip sync. You guys are lame for criticizing me for this. All right, let's see.
I have the one and only 24 karat gold Labubu.
Yeah. Someone in the, I feel like angle before is a funny take.
Let's
yeah. crisscross applesauce, baby. Y'all have never seen me
Battlefield
like
of
this before.
Eternity.
You look so much like Steven Crowder in this. Oh my
Ooh,
god, I
should
hate
have got
that.
him.
I hate that that's what people are saying. That's the top comment. Kaya, is he bothering you, Queen? I just want you to look at her. I want you to look at this dog who at first I was gonna do the this is a trend on TikTok where people just like hold up their animals by their ears like a Labubu. And it's funny because like Kaya, it just like didn't look as funny or as cool. 35-year-old man, by the way.
Destiny.
Yeah, you're right. I should kill myself instead. How dare I? This is a very boomer TikTok trend, for the record.
Wow,
this is like a
what,
very
Omar?
millennial TikTok trend. So, if anything, I'm doing something that my generation is doing as well. I also saw a post online about like how COVID basically like paused people's lifespans for a little bit and paused people's like development for like 5 years or so. And that's the reason why you see so many people like who are 30 who were like 25, you know what I mean? Like not 25, but like people who were like 24, 25, 26 when COVID first started had just like stayed at that age range basically. And then like now, I mean, we're not even in post-COVID.
I will fight to my last breath.
Like we move beyond the society. I might say we probably should, and we should be more careful with that. But oh, what is that? A little good start to the stream. Okay, what's happening here? Not even a little F. It's a big one actually. Hold on. Hold. This is on my end. Hold on to your butts. Worst case, I might, if this continues, I think it's getting fixed right now, but if this continues, if this drop continues, I'm just going to switch over. I'm going to switch over to my backpack, potentially. It's stabilizing now. Okay, it's stabilizing now. All right, good. That was weird. That's not good. That's not a good start to the day. Let me tell you, hate to see that. Hate to see that. We're back now. There's probably a major delay. Let's do a delay check. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a delay check. You already know. Piker Broadcasting Service is sponsored by you, the viewers, for you, the viewers. Subscribe right now, and then I'll count to see the first subscription. Subscribe right now for a delay check. You can do for free with a Twitch Prime.
10
1,
seconds.
2, 3, 4,
5, 4, 3, 2,
8,
1.
9, 10,
Let the battle
11.
begin.
Okay, well, people are saying PBS, but no one is subscribing. So I assume it's like almost an 11-second delay. And only now are people starting to subscribe. So there is a delay. It's probably 11 seconds. So here's what we're going to do. By the time I'm done finishing this count, you will know that I have actually received a short, brief F. Okay? I'm going to fix the ingest now. 1, 2, 3, 12. And we're back. Did you see that? I thought you were a socialist. Why do you have internet? Good. Musically Prime, thank you for the gifted. Yeah, it goes black for a brief moment when I fix the ingest, but there's no delay now. So. Okay. Stay on the TikTok grind and use the Kaya neck. Okay, hold on. Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh, I posted TikTok with Kaya. But this is another thing that I was talking about is like the COVID pause, right? We were talking about the COVID pause, yeah. So there are 25-year-olds that are 30 now, but they still act like they're 25. I feel like my development has already been stunted as a consequence of just like beaming unlimited chat into my brain for the past like 8 years at this point. So that paired up with like the COVID pause is the reason why I can behave like a child sometimes. But the thing is, like, I'm 34 years old, and I don't know if it's because of what I do. It's probably partially because of like my job. But I just don't feel like an adult. Like, my dad, by this point, had me, okay? My dad was a father by now, you know what I mean? Like, he had a job. He was like...
Choose a talent.
To the sky.
Shit, back in the house, bitch.
As will my foe. Someone get over here and help me.
I'm gonna pull back for now.
Okay, we're back. That was weird. Is this frustrating for us? How annoying are the Fs for you? If you think it's frustrating for you that you can't watch the stream uninterrupted without like some weird fucking pauses, imagine having tens of thousands, 20,000, sometimes 30,000 people yelling at you about how this is somehow your fault. It's just like something entirely out of your control, and you're trying to like actively recover it. You're trying to actively recover the situation, and everyone is yelling at you about something that's like entirely outside of your hands. So yeah, it's really busted. All right. But yeah, as I was saying, my dad, my age, had like his second child at this point, whereas I feel like a child. I still feel like a kid. And that's probably not good. I don't know if it's like a cultural thing. I don't know if it's a generational thing. I don't know if it's because of what I do. And I mean, I'm a fairly serious person. Obviously, I do a lot of serious things. You know, I have a pretty rigid schedule that I abide by. There's like a lot of adult things that I do, but there's also a lot of childish things that I do as far as like the lack of responsibility that I feel beyond taking care of my family. But even then, that kind of stuff doesn't feel the same.
Choose a talent.
I don't know. I feel like it's more so a global phenomenon, but I don't know if it's because it's just different now. But I do feel like 30-year-olds now behave like 20-year-olds. In some ways. In some ways, when you're younger, when you get beamed with everything that's on the internet, you age faster. Because like, I was talking to my 10-year-old niece, and like, either she's like brilliant, or there's just something going on with 10-year-olds now, where like, she just knows everything. She knows everything. When I was 10, like, I was basically one step removed from Google Gaga, and this goddamn 10-year-old is talking to me about like internet memes and stuff, and I'm like, how do you know this? Like, why should you know this? I'm like a couple years removed from shitting in my pants, like barely controlling my bowel movements at that point, and you are literally just like you're like a human. You're like a human. The iPad is a dangerous weapon in some respects. You're not supposed to be like a human at this point. Remember, because I used to always say like babies are no content, right? Babies are content free. You just can't get content out of babies. Like, and I would assume that like a 10-year-old is also a baby. But I guess 10-year-olds are content now. You can like have a full-blown conversation with a 10-year-old. Maybe it's because she's also a girl though. That's probably another part of this puzzle, because I do feel like girls are either forced to or just like age faster than boys do. Because I'm just like trying to remember how I was when I was 10 years old, and I'm telling you right now, like I was maybe at most like one step removed from Google Gaga shit, you know? Like, it's crazy. So I don't know. But basically what's happened is like the adolescence period has grown almost, right? Like where the staying a baby period has withered away with the internet. but then you just stay as like a preteen slash like adolescent way into your like 20s, and only become like a young adult. I feel like with the weight of responsibility at like in your 30s, whereas like I feel like in the past, I don't know if it's because like lifespans are shorter or not, but like different generations different. Like I feel like when you're 30, you're like thinking about your pension, you know what I mean? Like 20, 30, 40 years ago, if you were 30 years old, you're like, oh man, I gotta you know, I got a house that I'm paying off, you know, I got a car that I'm paying off, I got like children. Now I feel like when you're 30, you're like a child. At least like maybe in the first world, I don't know. Lamau, what pension? I know, that's my point. In any case, this was a long and convoluted way to describe why I still behave in incredibly childish ways, regardless of being 34 whole ass years old. It's just old man copium, but one day you will be there too, because not that long ago I was in your position where I would look to someone who's over the age of 30 and I'd be like, dude, I can't even understand how they see the world. This is like an old ass man, what the heck? And you know,
There is no place for evil.
you know, it is what it is. All right. Speaking of which, despite the fact that I'm an old ass man, I'm still putting that weight up, okay? I'm still putting that freaking weight up. Take a look. So this is 285 pounds. Look at the way this shit is moving, baby. Look at that. God damn. I will say my knees are creaky as hell. I got some creaky ass knees. Also, this is the camera angle that's making it look like the bar is uneven. It's not. It's only because of the fisheye lens effect, because I have to zoom out.
My ear, fucking A.
Keep those heels flat? I mean, they are. What are you talking about? What's your PR for squat? I don't know, but I went up to 317 today. I went up to 317 pounds for my top set, and I was trying to hit 6, but I haven't been under that much weight in quite a while, so I was only able to do 4, and then on the 5th one, I did like a half rep basically because I was worried. I was worried that I might not be able to put it back up if I went down all the way, but drinking 2x concentrate out of the bottle is crazy work. It's not 2x concentrate. I put water in it. But basically, it's just lame. It's lame that I can't put up more weight. I just hate it. I'm so close. I'm so close to just like diving into the world of steroids. I feel it in my bones, but I don't want to do it because I feel like I have all this influence over a lot of people, and I don't want them to also experiment with this shit because it's like very dangerous. And if I were to do it, I would do TRT anyway, like medically administered testosterone, and plus there's also the fear that I would go bald. I don't want that either. Stay natty, it's never worth it. Get used to it, brother. You got to be smart about your lifts after 35. Do a balls before and after pic if you do. Oh shit. Take a photo of my ball sack and just see if it shrunk. I mean, I've said this before, but this is like a bit of a cliche, but like, it's fine. If your balls get smaller, then your dick gets bigger. Like, who cares about having gigantic balls? Stay natty. Look at Jeff Nippard. It's achievable. Brother, Jeff Nippard is a lifetime natty who spends every waking moment living and breathing and existing in the gym. I don't think it's an apt comparison to make with a guy who is like relatively sedentary for most of the day You know? Get nippered on the broadcast. We go over a new plan. My wife is all about my big balls, brother. Don't lose those.
Thunder!
If you don't think you're good enough, Natty, gear won't fix that. Don't do it, bro. It's not worth it. Says Dr. Riptide. With your current anger rate, you'll get a conniption if you take testosterone. That's another thing. There's a lot of downsides. There are a lot of downsides to taking any sort of TRT. Like I've said for a very long time, for me, the testosterone supplementation will only happen if I see like a noticeable dip in my T levels, in my free testosterone. If I start like, if I'm no longer as horny, if I feel, because when testosterone is a very important hormone for, especially for men, but for everybody, right? And when your T levels start declining, and it's natural part of the lifespan of every human being, you unironically start getting more tired, and it's just like it reflects in every it's a part of every aspect of your life.
Atone for their sins.
But I'm not there yet. I do get regular checkups, and I check my T levels and stuff like that, and it's like I'm not gonna do it anytime soon, is my point. Okay. Also, this is a very funny Kaya video. I saw this before.
Half of the goddamn country is like a lobotomy recipient.
What the fuck? What do we do? It's over. It's fucking done. It's done.
He's brown. He's a brown Muslim guy. He's a brown Muslim guy. He's gonna be
every fucking day, bro.
He wants to globalize the enchilada. The enchilada.
That's so funny. I woke her ass up. Chat.
Pull back now. Have no fear.
So
I will
tired
return
that her
to
head
face
is
the
drooping
demon
down right
lord.
now. He's like
I
falling
swear
asleep,
this.
even though her head is up. This is so funny. Oh my god. Oh, no. Her head did too much. Still going after it. Okay. Maybe she's gonna just fall asleep again. Nope. Never mind. Every time. Oh, never mind. Back to sleep. She looks like mashed potatoes and gravy. I am the luckiest person on the planet. I don't know how the fuck I got so
half of the goddamn country.
The best. Oh, it's crazy. Like if there was a dog Olympics out there, if there's a dog Olympics out there, like she literally clears it. She is the number one.
Another winning
she is the number one dog.
Shattered. Enlist the aid of these mayhem.
And it's so funny how big she is. Like you can't, like look at like, you guys. I have sometimes I'll bring her around to my friends' houses. Like, you know, I'll bring him over. I'll bring her over sometimes to like friends' houses, and they'll be like, I only see her next to you in photos. And because of that, I always assume that she's like much smaller than she actually is. So when they actually see her in person, they cannot believe how big she is. But you can kind of tell how big she is here.
You serve the
Stop centering your feelings. My dog is mint too. I mean, all dogs are. Are those couch covers? Where did you get them? I need some too. They're not like real couch covers. It's just my mom. This is a very mom thing, if you guys haven't noticed. It's just, I think she like went and got like some Turkish linens or something, and she just like puts them on top of the couch. It's just mom things.
Mom things.
Also, what is this? Don't skip leg day? I do not have chicken legs. Come on, guys. That's crazy. I don't think they realize how big my goddamn legs are. That's... Dude, imagine if I did look like that. That would be wild. Thank God you can literally see that that is not the case. I have insanely large legs, and I never skip leg day, and I never skip back day either. Unless you think I'm... What is this? Check out this clip. Maya is streaming, just chatting. What is this?
This is fake.
It's real. Why is she coping? This is real. This is the actual size of Kaya.
What the fuck?
Is the actual size. This is real. This is real. No, it's not real. Kaya's not Clifford the big red dog, okay? She's close to it, but she's not.
Hey, what time are we heading out to go pick up Rico?
My dad's gonna pick her up.
Okay, okay. What time are we heading out to the thing then?
Oh, I did. It's actually incredible, dude. Dude, Whiteface Tech is so out of control. I'll talk about this in a second.
Sounds good.
But yeah. Okay,
so we'll head out at
let's blast off and let's do the damn thing. I don't skip leg
Sounds
day.
good.
I don't know what
I'll
people are
just
saying over there. That's crazy. Let's get it blasted. Let's get it twisted. Okay. We got a lot going on.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, the Drewski Whiteface stuff
Love you
is
too.
crazy. Is actually crazy. I need to see Drewski do different types of white now. I need to see him do Italian. Yeah.
I got one more game in me, baby.
Okay,
Come on now.
let's
Come on.
blast off.
Don't do me like this.
Florida getting rid of vax. China parade. Narco terrorism is the new meta for BS warmongers. Tweet, what's that? Oh God, all those Floridian children will be dying or crippled by diseases. I mean, do you expect anything different from the state of Florida? Like, it's a self-selecting place at this point. They're unironically doing the Hasanabi Florida program without me advocating for it. Okay. Epstein victims may go public with client names after old files are released. Hassan, when are you coming to Florida? No time soon. David A. Pacman doesn't know how to pronounce APAC in a hilarious attempt to feign ignorance. Yeah, I saw that. That's like kind of that's an insane thing that he did there. I'm gonna be honest. I do feel like a lot of the content creators like who I am very cordial with, who I have obvious disagreements with, but I'm like otherwise very cordial with regardless, have behaved in a way that I am kind of disappointed by. Not that it matters. I don't think these guys like me that much anyway, but you know, his brother worked for the ADL. No, I know I know he did, which is why it's like when I saw that, like, when I saw that video where he like talks about APAC or IPAC, however you say it, I was like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Because it's a real like damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation for David Pacman, because it's like you act like you don't know what APAC is. Okay, like you act like you don't know what APAC is, then like either you're one, you know exactly what it is, but you're just like lying about not knowing what it is, or, which is again disingenuous, or two, you're a political commentator since like 2005 or something, and you don't know a very important lobbying group. Like, come on. Like, either way, it's just like a horrible. It just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good at all. Like, that's crazy. You've been doing this for 20 years, man. What do you mean you don't know how to say APAC? Yes, I know. Ryan Ruth wants to do trial by combat. My goat. Is crazy weird way to play it from him. I know. I don't know why he's just like
some creators.
Like the thing is, for a lot of these guys, like here's one thing I will say. Okay, I have personal opinions, and I openly state what my personal opinions are, and yet there are so many instances where a lot of people either fucking punish me for openly stating my personal opinions and yelling at me over it, while simultaneously assuming that like I'm actually cynically advocating for the things that I'm advocating for, and I'm not being 100% transparent or honest. If that was the case, I would never talk about NATO, for example. Or if that was the case, I wouldn't be consistently duking it out with like my left flank when it comes to certain issues. I have red lines that I don't cross. Okay? The reason why I do this is because I think it's the most appropriate way to go about it. You have your opinions, you share them, you have your biases, you openly reveal those biases, and at the end of the day, if people appreciate your commentary, if people know where you're coming from and they agree with your statements, then that's great. Okay? If they don't, then they don't. It is what it is. You can't win it all. This kind of this kind of attitude, I think, kind of like this kind of attitude almost shelters the public from your perspective in a way that doesn't make any sense, because you're a political commentator. Okay, it just like it doesn't make any sense. Like why just, you know what APAC is, man. That's crazy.
In the first 48 hours, took the Wired story and expanded it with even more outrageous claims, suggesting that it's APAC or IPAC. I don't even know how it's pronounced. APAC, IPAC.
Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know how to pronounce it, man.
Systems
Come
online.
on.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I guess like people
1.
also were yelling. I'll defend David on the Chorus Wired article, but pretending to not know APAC's a bad look. Like, does he think we're dumb enough to not know he knows what APAC? To not know that he knows what APAC is? It is one of the most well-known, powerful lobbying groups in the U.S. and has been talked about plenty in the last decade. To pretend that he doesn't know what APAC pretending it could be pronounced IPAC is just insulting anyone who follows his channel. All this years we defended suit against APAC affiliation accusations that he insults us for pretending not to know how to pronounce it. Like, I don't think David Pacman is like funded by APAC, for the record. I've never stated that. I don't think that is the case. But obviously, like, this is an area where he is heavily biased, right? Israel is an area where he is heavily biased. That bias both stems from his own personal opinions about the state of Israel, but it also stems from his personal opinions when it comes to American foreign policy. Like David, regardless of his socially progressive attitude, for years and years, has had a lot of differences of opinion from someone like myself when it comes to American foreign policy, and he lands on the side that almost always is on the side of the United States, that rehashes and repeats whatever the State Department line is on a particular matter. Okay, so there's multiple reasons. He responds and says, "Guys, give me a break. I'm not pretending to not know what APAC is. I'm just unsure on the pronunciation. It's the same as how I get mixed up with the first O in sorrow is pronounced, or how the first A in Lara is pronounced. I mean, Yeah, I don't know about all that. I think that's. It just like it feels as though he was just saying that to be like, I don't know, what is this APAC thing?
Time to practice running away.
I'm gonna pull back for now.
And of course, there are a fuck ton of videos where he's saying APAC correctly. Like, I mean, that's
number one. APAC is a more right-wing group, and Jews in the U.S. are very, very liberal. So yeah, there are Jews who support APAC, who vote in the United States. But look at evangelical Christian support of APAC and of Israel. That doesn't even seem to be mentioned here. It's an important fact.
like, he is a lot more knowledgeable on this issue than he lets on, is what I mean. Of course he is. He's been doing this for 20 plus years, man. Like, he is a very knowledgeable guy. And the Christian Zionist pro-Israel, the Christian Zionist pro-Israel contingency is a very real one. It's one that I talk about quite a bit. It's one that I talk about quite frequently. Like, he's a very smart guy. Like, he's a very smart guy. The notion that he's like oblivious to how APAC is stated is a way to just like make it seem as though he's like he has this like dedicated blind side to this issue, where I don't think that's the case. I think he just doesn't want to say what his opinions are on this.
Accurate. But then we get to the bigger point. You can recognize that this is playing on longtime anti-Semitic tropes and still support boycotting Israel, for example. And the reflexive reaction I saw from many on the left to say this can't be anti-Semitic because they felt as though it would in some way invalidate their support of boycotting Israel or their opposition to Benjamin Netanyahu. Separate the two things. You can be an opponent of Benjamin Netanyahu and believe that Ilhan Omar here is knowingly or unknowingly playing up anti-Semitic tropes. You can be for...
I'm so glad that I fucking stood in opposition to this kind of stuff when Ilhan Omar was on the right side of history and was absolutely correct and was getting blasted by both the Democrats and the Republicans. This is when, remember that Donald Trump clip that I play all the time? May Allah awaken the people to the evil doings of Israel and the United States of America. That's Donald Trump quoting Ilhan Omar. That's when people were basically like ripping into Ilhan Omar for saying that. Way long time ago. Okay, that is Donald Trump doing, because there's a point in time when like Donald Trump will go up on rallies and put Ilhan Omar's face on the TV in all of these fucking stadiums, in all these arenas, where they were actively trying to get her assassinated. Okay. Wait, that clip is not AI? No, that clip is real. You guys are so funny. You didn't know that? The May Allah awaken here. Send it to me. Send me that clip. The May Allah awaken the people to the evil doings of Israel and the United States of America. That clip right there is a real clip. Here.
Is an America hating socialist.
Look.
Congresswoman Omar is an America hating socialist. She minimized the September 11th attack on our homeland.
Yeah, it's a clip chimp. For those of you who don't know, like he talks about like all of these like idiotic, which by the way, you might have noticed a very interesting line of attack here. Whenever someone is a Muslim, okay, and they're like anti-American imperialism, it doesn't take much for people to immediately go, you love 9/11, you minimized it, you actually want more 9/11 to take place. Yeah, I mean, here's my video on this from 6 years ago. Pathetic Democrats won't defend Ilhan Omar again. What the fuck? I'm just like driving around. I was a car guy. It's a car ramp, boys. But yeah.
Where far more than 3,000 people died, saying some people did something. Big deal. Some people did. She pleaded for compassion for ISIS recruits right here in Minnesota.
This is also bullshit. Like, all of this stuff is, like classic bullshit. You're just leaning on tropes.
Omar laughed that Americans speak of Al-Qaeda. Remember that tape? Speak of Al-Qaeda. But when we say something about the United States, you just don't say America with any intensity. Remember that? Representative Omar has a history of launching virulent anti-Semitic screeds, whether you like it or not. She said the U.S. support for Israel is all about the Benjamins. She said that pro-Israel.
You know what's funny? If you were to run this clip again, every single person in that crowd, or not every single person, but like most people in that crowd would be in agreement with Ilhan Omar. They would go, oh my God, that's crazy. Look at how based Ilhan Omar was. Why the fuck did we hate her? Okay? And for the record, the notion that like it's all about the Benjamins is anti-Semitic was another completely insane media cycle. God damn, we've gone through so much. It is crazy. People in the United States of America love punishing those who are bold and are on the right side for just simply being on the right side, for simply demonstrating the moral courage to say the most basic shit.
Israel lawmakers have an allegiance to a foreign country. Omar wrote that Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them to see the evil doings of Israel and the United States.
Yeah. This is from this is a classic faucet that you see. A classic like unlimited faucet where when someone is obviously Muslim, it works a lot better. They tried to do that with Bernie Sanders too, but Bernie Sanders was Jewish, so it didn't work. But when you are a visibly Muslim person, you're hijabi, you're black, you're a Somali refugee as well. Like obviously, it is significantly more impactful. You and Noah talked about this moment. Consistent.
No, I mean it's just like to address the first part of this. This is like now multi-stage controversy. To address the first part of it, like what she said was not anti-Semitic. It is a stretch to call it anti-Semitic. A real stretch.
Yeah. February 13th, 2019. Liberals are caving to the right once again. I still got the same day one homies. We're still saying the same exact shit, which is why it's so funny. It's so funny when people try to act as though I have changed. Okay? What the hell are we talking about? I've changed. Motherfucker, you've changed. You just didn't listen to the things that I was saying back then.
Something isn't right.
It's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous that these motherfuckers will try to be like, oh, Hassan, you changed your mind. It's like, bro, there is not someone that is more consistent out there. How is calligraphy Jews Benjamins not anti-Semitic? What does that even mean? Calligraphy Jews? No, it's all about the Benjamins. Talk about money. Talk about the pervasive influence of money and lobbying on American Congress. Which is ironic because we're about to talk about that right here.
I think that the canard of like a Jewish conspiracy and Jewish financiers controlling the world, controlling and ruling the world, like Protocols of the Elders of Zion stuff, like that's totally that like as a canard and as a trope, it exists. it's like it's a noxious myth and it is a long, like, you know, sordid lineage or whatever. But what Ilhan Omar did was actually use the word AIPAC to describe like the term AIPAC, which is not a Jewish organization. It's not a Jewish organization. She didn't say Jews. She didn't say any of the things that would have identified this as, you know, like an anti-Semitic remark. She talks about AIPAC, and she says that they spend money to, in the case that she was referring to, that AIPAC and organizations like it spend money to support Republicans in Congress, and that the incentive and the reasons for, like, you know, Kevin McCarthy to say that, you know, Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar are, you know, anti-Semitic is because that's what the donors and the people who are part of the Israel lobby want. Because
I'm gonna be honest, I'm so proud of my friends. I'm so proud of this community. I mean, we've been at this fucking battle for so goddamn long. This is also part of the reason why, like, when people are like chirping at me because they feel as though like my support for Palestinians is like conditional or something. It's like, yeah, whatever, dude. I'll let that wash away. It's all good. You know what I mean? There's never, like, I have never, ever fucking put down on this country. Never. In my freaking life, okay? There was a chatter in here who said, by the way, look at the top dono, it's BDS. Clips like this only remind me how confused I was after October 7th when a bunch of chatters acted like you changed your positions. I couldn't figure out if we'd been watching the same streams. Yeah. No, it's just people weren't paying attention to it. Like, I think people just basically drop certain issues. Like, there are a lot of people who had been oblivious to the way Israel behaved, and I guess they like completely fucking tuned out when I was talking about this issue for years and years and years, right? Oh. It's just the reason why I've been consistent and the reason why my positions haven't changed on this stuff is because the issues have not changed either. Okay? The issues haven't changed. That's the reason why, like, my commentary is identical from like 2019 all the way to now. In what way did you change views? They were probably just liberals following you. I guess like the only difference is like with the expanded permission structure, like there are certain things that previously I was unable mass unfollowing of Hasanabi 2025. Yeah, exactly. You haven't changed. You're still gay, bro. Shut the fuck up and talk to me. With the expanded permission structure, obviously there are certain things that I can like openly state, and in some instances, like I'm the one who's pushing the needle and getting punished for it, but it's fine. Like saying that the Houthis and the Ansar Allah movement is unironically one of the only regional actors that's holding the international rule-based order alive by holding Israel to account for its crime of genocide. Like, these are the types of things that people will immediately hear and go, oh, you're a terrorist, you love terrorism, fuck you. But like, there are certain red lines that I don't, allow people to cross. This is one of them, right? This is one of them. It's ridiculous. And I think, like, people inevitably do come to that conclusion. It just takes, it takes a long time for people to basically recognize this. But, you know, this is something that many of you also have to come to terms with.
Kill that! Jesus Christ, kill that, Nick.
There are a lot of people that you're going to meet every single day that are going to have a very negative opinion of propaganda. Okay?
Yo, Arawan, how you doing, man? We're just chilling right now. This is my last game until later on tonight, but I'm gonna go online. Yeah, it's already over. These guys are just looking at the boss. It's terrible. Look, get him right there. Oh my, thank you. Jeez. All right, time to defend it. There you go. Wow, he actually defended it. Oh my god. Let's go.
Because your cause is just, you'll be fine.
Oh, These guys suck, dude.
How do we arrive at this? Because we were talking about Ilhan Omar, because here's an older video of David Pakman saying AIPAC correctly, in the process of also shitting on Ilhan Omar.
Or against boycotting Israel or Israeli companies or whatever, and still recognize that it's a really bad idea to even go near approximating these anti-Semitic tropes. It's bad for Democrats, it's bad for the progressive movement, it's bad for those who want reform in Israel. That's okay. You don't have to feel as though merely admitting that this was a mistake, that it was either ignorant or malicious, and both are problematic. And that doesn't change the validity of your perspective on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict or what policy should be towards Israel. And I was concerned before the election that exactly this type of nonsense would start flying.
Do you play Hero of the Storm, or what you play, bro?
It's just like, this is in the process of like criticizing Ilhan Omar.
And AIPAC supports AIPAC.
Yeah.
Do you play, what's your favorite character, brother?
He knows how to say AIPAC. That's crazy. Did anyone actually claim AIPAC was funding Chorus? No. And also, I think there's a problem with this. There's a problem with what's going on here, with the way that people are actually tackling the Chorus situation. And I think it's like something that a lot of people say I do whenever I get criticized, right? I try to, first and foremost, tackle the major issue whenever I get like hit from my left flank about whatever particular matter that there is disagreement over. In the process, I also do talk about like some of the most edge cases and some of the most insane smears that I am receiving. Right? Yeah. I mean, David Pakman's brother, who worked as a producer, was a regional director for the ADL. Of course. Yeah. He did. I mean, he knows how to say AIPAC. Anyway, that doesn't matter. His brother's involvement doesn't matter. My point is, I feel like this is, it's a way to try and escape the criticism that I think is valid, as far as like saying, look, this is being funded by the 1630 fund. There's a lot of misinformation flying around. There is a lot of misinformation flying around about this stuff, and I'm going to address every single one. But as far as like getting funded by like a dark money, a dark money tax like a 1630, and as far as like the contractual obligations goes, I think like it was a mistake to put forth contracts like this that are very aligned, and that obviously editorial independence is incredibly important. Right? Editorial independence is obviously very important.
Fucking A!
Independent media, and we are going to be better than the Republicans on this issue, and therefore we should always disclose, regardless of whether the law wants us to disclose or not, in order to make sure that you understand, if you're a part of this audience, in order to make sure that you understand that, like, you know, there are people who are funding this process. So if they were to do that and then move on, like, I wouldn't have as much issue. But
Fuck.
there has been also
How's it going? How's your day, brother? Fuck, man.
These guys are funded by AIPAC or whatever. No, of course. Of course not funded
Fucking
by AIPAC.
bullshit.
Here's another misinformation that I've seen. People talking about how 1630 Fund also funded RFK Jr. Yes, the reason why 1630 Fund funded RFK Jr. is not because they were aligned with RFK Jr. The reason why 1630 Fund funded RFK campaign was because they saw him as a spoiler. Okay? Just, you know, I have seen a bunch of different, like, pieces of misinformation of people, like, criticizing 1630 and not doing the correct criticism. So when there's, like, incorrect criticism, I think these guys usually kind of grab onto that and then simply use that as a jump-off point to be like, well, we're not funded by AIPAC. I don't think this person is funded by AIPAC. Okay? I don't. I think that's ridiculous. If anything, it would be J Street and not AIPAC if someone were to be funded on the progressive side. And even then, I don't think this person is funded by J Street either. I think this is just David Pakman's own personal opinion on the matter, okay?
That is funding this show or other creators. Of course, not true. That the DNC is involved, not true. Some creators in the first 48 hours took...
Anyway, Did Taylor actually accuse him of AIPAC funding? No, no one did. I think like people just went along with it because people just use AIPAC as like a catch-all for every type of like Israel lobby activity. It's wrong if you're going to be like super specific. But no, Taylor Lorenz never said that. The only thing that a lot of people noticed in the aftermath of reading this article was that a lot of these content creators, especially big ones, right, and even smaller ones, were all content creators that had like either aligned with the previous administration, or had been noticeably absent from the conversation when it comes to a major issue such as Israel's genocide of the Palestinians. And that is the reason why people were like, are these guys getting paid to be silent on Israel? And I tried to explain at that point where it's like, well, there is editorial control over this process, at least contractual obligations that require some semblance of editorial control, which I think is like not great. These guys mostly are self-selected. But the reason why people say David AIPAC man or he's being funded by AIPAC or whatever is not because people legitimately think that AIPAC, a far-right pro-Israel lobbying group, is like directly funding him and his operations. The reason why they say that is because he's either A, noticeably absent from the conversation on Israel, or B, when he talks about Israel, it's usually in a way where it's fairly, I mean, it's just like a liberal Zionist position. That's it. That's the reason. But yeah, we no longer take AIPAC money, says U.S. Rep. Morgan McGarvey at a town hall in Louisville Saturday. The group previously backed McGarvey in 2022 and 2024 elections. This shows progress of source, but if AIPAC is just replaced by DMFI or the dozen other pro-Israel groups vaguely aligned with the Democrats, then this risks becoming a box to be checked without substantive change in incentives or more meaningfully political outcomes. Exactly. So I do think that I do think that it's like kind of silly to make it seem like you don't have any knowledge of this pivotal. You don't have any knowledge of this incredibly important lobbying group in American politics, especially right now, more than ever before. More important than ever before, I would say. When it's top of mind. So yeah. Yeah, I saw the Matt Lee brief. That was pretty funny, where he said, squinting as my wife shows me the credit card statement, $15 a month for only fins? Funds? Fangs? What even is this? That's a good meme. That's a good joke. I mean, it just gets right to the fucking heart. So I don't get why so many liberal pundits don't seem to understand the majority views of their own candidates. I think the reason why a lot of people just like choose to be silent on this conversation is because they're in a bubble. They're afraid of cutting through. They're afraid of exhibiting any sort of bravery, any sort of moral consistency. They're just like, by the way that this like job works, when you're in Congress for an extended period of time, you are entirely sheltered from the public opinion. And the only time someone is reflecting on what the public opinion is when you're fucking on a phone call with like a pro-Israel lobbyist guy who's telling you the public opinion is pro-Israel. Okay? That's it. Some people are cynical. They recognize what the truth is and they choose not to hammer on. Some people are oblivious because they're bubbled in. it doesn't matter. The outcome is still the same. But we're talking about politicians. If you're talking about like someone like David Pakman, I think he knows. He knows what's going on. That's the reason why he's silent on the issue, right? Because if he felt like there was a lever here that he could pull, if he felt like there was an angle here that he could take that still maintained like some semblance of a pro-Israel position as a progressive pundit, then he would do it. It's just he's choosing to keep quiet because he doesn't want to say something that would reflect poorly on him and his commentary, especially right now, because people will go, what the fuck? You are saying you're pro-Israel. This is crazy. At a time like this, when Israel's doing a genocide, why aren't you saying Israel's doing a genocide? Like that would be the argument from his own audience, and he doesn't want to deal with that, I think, which is why he just like chooses to stay silent on the issue. It's not that he's oblivious to what's going on, and I say this like the reality of the matter is like if he had an opinion that he wasn't worried about. If he had an opinion that he wasn't so worried about, like he would say it. He would say it out loud. He'd be like, Israel's doing a genocide. It's fucking, it's unimaginable. It's really fucked up. And also we have to put a stop to it, you know? We have to put a stop to it. We have to put an end to it. It's just plausible deniability. It's a way to create plausible deniability. There's a new Verge article that came out from Tina Nguyen, how the Democrats keep copying the MAGA influencer playbook and failing. Which is an update on, or a complimentary piece of the Taylor Lorenz piece. As the fallout of the Chorus influencer program reveals, the Democratic establishment seems how the fuck do you say that? I've never read that word before in my entire life. Sclerotically incapable of existing in a media environment it cannot control. I got it. Sclerotically. That is crazy. Reading comprehension at all-time lows. Yeah, no, that's English is my second language. Some of these words are insane to pronounce, okay? Shut the fuck up. Do you want to know how that would be pronounced? Do you want to know how that would be pronounced in Turkish? Hold on. God damn it. We need a fucking paywall zapper here real quick. Someone send me the paywall remover, please. Okay. Do you want to know how a Turkish, in Turkish, how you would read this? Sicelle ro tijalli. Sicelle ro tijalli. Not even E. Y is silent. There's no Y that's like not silent in Turkish.
Wow.
Okay. Bunda bir Türk okusa fels olur. Evet. Turks in the chat are saying, if you read this, you'd have a stroke. If a Turkish person read this word, they'd have a stroke. All right. Do we have a paywall removed link? Can you guys send me a paywall removed link? Tina Nguyen wrote, as a senior reporter for The Verge, wrote this article about the chorus and updates on the chorus, specifically the story that has evolved away from chorus getting funded from the 1630 fund, all the way down to the way that some of the chorus content creators have like responded. Recently, Wired published an article revealing the existence of a secret Democrat influencer incubator that trained liberal and progressive content creators to push coordinated messaging across their shared social media platforms and paid them handsomely to do so. The fallout has been chaotic, at least in the left-wing influencer world. Creators are shanking their rivals for participating in the program, and paid influencers are trying to defend themselves for taking the money. But the controversy around the Chorus Creator Incubator program stems from the fact that it was so secret, participants had to sign contracts that gave Chorus control over their interview bookings, limit what they said about other creators and non-approved political figures, and were forbidden from even acknowledging that they were part of the program. In response,